Hello again, it's Mr. Pete, your internet shop teacher, and this is part 2 of a 3-part video regarding these South Bend 9-inch models A, B, and C. Now, if you watched the previous video, which was number 807, that was all about setting the change gears on the Model C, that is with this apron. This video is number 808, and it's entitled Setting the Change Gears on the Model B. So I have put the Model B apron on here. It's the same apron also used on A, and now we have to change some of the gears in order to get the ratio that we want for either feeding or threading. So let's begin. Now up to this point I have not changed the gears on the gear train here. That's the same as they were in the last video with the new apron on there. And I was going to check to see just what kind of feed rate we have right now. I tried to do it with a regular dial indicator, not sensitive enough, so I put the test indicator on here. And I don't even believe I'm going to turn it for you, but 1 revolution will move the carriage only 1/10 of a thousand. So that's way too fine of a feed. So I need to change the change gears. Let's take a look at the chart for the Model B. This is not the same as the one that I used in the last video. It is not on the lathe. There's no plaque on the lathe, so I got it out of the South Bend book. And we're going to zoom into the lower area here where I have a fine feed, but not nearly as fine as what is already set on the machine, which I showed you a couple seconds ago. All right, I'm zoomed in near the bottom of the chart here, and I am interested in the very bottom line here, which is 104 threads per inch, so I'm not interested in that. However, I am interested in the longitudinal feed here, again, of 33 10,000ths, or let's just call it 3 thousandths. And this line here with the 10, or actually 1,000ths, I should say, that is the cross feed. So you will see from the chart here that we need a stud gear of 16 and a screw gear of 52. I already have those pulled out. And we're referring to this chart here, number 3. So right here I need a gear that is a compound gear, 72 tooth and 18 tooth, and the large one here, idler, is what, 80 tooth. So I've got those all laid out over at the machine, so let's go on over there. Some of these gears are going to come off now. Again, I've got it unplugged. Here's the 16 that's going to go on right here as the stud gear. The 52 is going to go in the spot here where the 80 is, and then the 80 will be moved over here, and then I will be using the 7218, this one, up in this position, and this gear will be removed for now. Now I'm not going to go through all of that and show you. It's rather tedious. I'll go ahead and change those gears and be back with you in a matter of seconds, even though this will take 15 minutes. Okay, it's about 15 minutes later, and these are the gears that came off. And right now I have a 16 right here as the stud gear. This is the 7218, this is the 80 tooth, and this is the 52 tooth gear on the screw. So let's check it with a dial indicator now and see if I am getting a 3 thousandths feed longitudinally. As always, and for longitudinal feed, I have the feed change lever in the upper position, and I will tighten the clutch, and you can see it moving. So I will check with the dial indicator here in a second to see if we're getting 3 thousandths. And if I stop it and then put the feed change lever in the bottom position I'm going to have power crossfeed, as you can see. And we'll check that also with a dial indicator. Here is the setup with a dial indicator to check the movement. I will zoom in on that and rotate the chuck exactly one turn, and we should get 3 thousandths, actually 33 10,000ths, but that's... Okay, watch that needle now as I rotate the chuck one revolution. And sure enough, we have 3 thousandths. So I have set the gears correctly. Okay, here's the setup for checking the crossfeed. I'll move the camera in. According to the chart, I should be getting a 1,000th of movement with one revolution. So watch it as I turn the chuck. That's one revolution, and it looks like the cross slide moved 1,000. So my setup is correct. Well, that's it. That's how you set the gears for a fine crossfeed and a fine longitudinal feed with a Model B using the clutch rather than the half nut lever. Now, in the following video, part 3, I will be using a different machine and I will be talking about the quick change gearbox, and you'll see the advantages of that. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Mr. Pete saying I'll see you next time, and stay tuned for just a little bit of extra credit. Here's just a little bit of extra credit. I have both aprons removed from the lathe right now, and I'm converting it back into a Model B, as I have done in other videos. This is the Model C apron that I took off just now, and that is the one that I used in the previous video. But before I reinstall this one, I want to show you just a few features on the back side of this that make this apron so much different from this. Here's the Model C apron, very simple. There's only a half nut lever here. Remember, there is no crossfeed and there is no clutch. So looking at the back side, really the main moving parts here are the half nut that grip the lead screw. All right, now let's look at the other one. I know this is a review, but this apron that fits both a Model A and a B is quite a bit more expensive and complicated than the other one. There's a feed change lever here. Remember, this middle position is for threading, and this one of these positions is for crossfeed and the other for longitudinal feed. I forgot offhand, and this is the clutch handle. And of course the half nut lever, not much different than the other one. Let's look at it from the back side. Okay, from the back side you can see that the split nut is about the same, and that's used only for threading. So if we want power crossfeed or power longitudinal feed, the lead screw goes through here and through this part here. I don't know what you call it, but there is a key in there. So the keyway in the lead screw back here is what drives this part for the automatic feeds, not this. So the ratios are a little different, is my point here, and that's why after I set this up, I will have to change the change gears. Change the change gears? All right, that's probably enough about that because that is covered in other videos. I'm going to go ahead and install this, and, well, you've already seen the video since this is extra credit. Hope you enjoyed it.